Hey, everybody, this is Lorraine.
And Jennifer,
And this morning I'm going to tell you you're doing everything wrong.
thanks for the encouragement.
Hmm. Does that sound a little, I don't know, judgy and superior?
A little bit. I mean, I'm
Mm.
doing my best out here.
Absolutely. And you know what the truth is? Everybody's doing their best. And we're all learning this, we're all kicking the tires. And I have seen just this really disturbing trend where people who are maybe 6 months or a year ahead because they got their toe in the water first, looking back over their shoulder and going, I wouldn't do it that way.
Yeah, and I'm seeing it too. I'm seeing people being very judgy. We're in this time of a lot of things are changing very quickly, very quickly. And
Mhm.
I don't think that you should be judgy against people when they're trying something different. Like maybe give them some words of encouragement. Like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Like, I don't think it's a very good look when you're out there judging people because maybe they're ahead, maybe you're wrong, maybe they're wrong. Like if I've learned anything, there's 50 million ways to do the same thing.
Oh, goodness, yes. And I, when I run into somebody like that, when somebody is doing that and they're acting superior or, well, I wouldn't do it that way, or, that's not a good way to do it. I always think to myself, what are you really trying to prove? Who are you trying to impress? Because anybody who's an up and comer is
Yeah,
not going to get within a 10-foot pole of you because they're like, "Ooh, they're going to judge me," right?
yeah, yeah. Being that I have a psychology degree, I'll tell you
Mhm.
what it actually is. It's a defense mechanism where you're defending your own like insecurities that you might have,
Mhm.
and that's the psychological answer.
Mhm.
And so I just, we need to stop. Like, I've seen people kind of judging different, like, writing with
Mhm.
AI and, oh, don't use dashes or don't use this word or don't use that word. And man, there's just a whole bunch of people just trying to figure it all out.
Absolutely. And those hard and fast rules. I read this wonderful post by somebody who was like, "Oh, the hell with you people. I like the M dash. I've been using it. It is an antiquated writing style. It is definitely not something that we teach in school anymore. And it's
Yeah.
not something that we typically even most mature writers use. But
Mhm.
really good writers, grammar nerds,
Yeah.
appreciate the M dash and what it can do to a sentence that a comma or two sentences can't. And her point is, I get it. I know that ChatGPT does this a lot, but so do I.
Yeah. I think there is going to be a lot of imperfection
Mhm.
that is going to go out, and I think that's a good thing because somebody has to go out there and try and do different things in order to achieve what's possible that we didn't
Mhm.
think was possible. And you never know if something's going to hit or not, so like it's worth a try. I just don't want to, cut somebody down.
Oh, absolutely. And so, I think there is a fine line that you walk between trying to impress someone with your knowledge and when you really do know your shit, and
Hmm.
just being judgy or cutting someone down. And I think one of the ways to approach that is to say, well, I noticed you're doing this, or I've seen this a lot. And here's how I would approach it. And here's why.
Yeah.
Here's what my experience has been. So it's not that you're just being judgy, you're actually sharing some insight so that maybe the person behind you doesn't get burned by the same mistakes.
Hmm.
To me, that's good feedback, that's helpful, and I think it elevates who you are and what people think about you.
Yeah. Or it's just like, that's interesting how you did that. I actually did it this way and it worked out for me that way. I don't know if you thought about going about it that way, but
Mhm.
that's how I did it.
Mhm.
Just giving more instead of,
Yeah,
no, that's wrong. Don't do that.
yeah, well, and, when you see somebody standing on a ledge leaning over to fall, you kind of think, "Well, maybe, um, maybe I should help." if you see somebody and they're just doing something different, it's the same as managing your people, isn't it? They're going to
Mhm.
do things differently. They're going to do things in ways that you wouldn't,
Yeah.
but it's not necessarily wrong.
It's just different.
It's just different. It's just different. Yes.
Yeah, I just, again, reiterating that things are moving really quickly and we're all going to try to do things a little bit different. So just
Mhm.
get some grace.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it is that grace that elevates who you are in the minds of people who look at you. I get such nice feedback when I comment on something and go, I wouldn't do it that way. Or, I did try it that way and it kind of blew up in my face, but here's what I would do.
Yeah.
And, when I share, or even when I share what I consider a horrible example, but I don't bash the person. Oh my God, I just got this email. Now, how would you fix it? Here's how I would fix it. But I don't ever, my rule was always you can call out big companies. I can call out Coca-Cola, but I'm not going to call out a local small business owner. I'm not going to call out somebody who's doing their best,
Yeah.
trying to just get one step ahead.
I see a lot of judgment with big companies you mentioned, like trying to use AI for video and what have you, and they're getting crushed a lot.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
you know, I'm still of the mindset like somebody had to try it. Like we had to see
Hmm.
like where is that. So I don't even try to crush the big brands.
Well, I have to admit, when I was running the agency, we would pick big brands and we would be like, oh my God, did you see this?
Yeah.
Don't they know better? Don't they have people that can help? And it was more, they were not going to get offended. And our audience, appreciated it and appreciated us kind of calling it out and going, yeah, no, don't be doing this. This is really not a good idea.
It's about how I feel when the Super Bowl comes out and we all judge all the commercials so bad. I'm just like, I
Oh,
feel
okay.
bad for those people.
You know what I normally do when I watch those Super Bowl ads is I try to imagine the conference room where they pitched the idea. Because
Yeah,
from my corporate days, I was in that room. We were running $1 million campaigns,
yeah.
not for one ad, but we were running $1 million campaigns. And so you were taking a big gamble. And you're just like, really? A dancing mustache? Yeah, think that's a good idea for us, for our brand. And so I don't mind calling those out because I think there's a learning experience in that. But
Well, with the
um,
Super Bowl, you've been doing it kind of for years. I think what really has brought this up is just the whole like AI
mm,
technology and as fast as things are changing and algorithms are changing and people have to keep up with how everything is changing. It's just I just don't be judgy. Maybe they'll bring something back.
absolutely. And the other side of it is, somebody who has 6 months more experience than you is not an expert.
No. No, nobody's an expert in AI. I don't give a crap.
I don't care if you're writing the code. I
Yeah.
don't I think that's one of the challenges is I think even the people that are writing the code don't really understand.
What they're
Um,
doing, how they're doing it.
yeah.
We're all just learning here at the same time. I've also just kind of noticed too, like, well, one person might be way ahead on this area and another person might be way ahead in this area, but that doesn't necessarily make them an expert. It just
Mm-mm.
means they have an opinion, which we all have one.
I'm not going to say the opinions are like a body part, but I think you know which body part I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about.
do.
All right. Well, we're going to put a pin in it here. If you'd like to judge this particular podcast or blog, video podcast, or whatever this thing is, please feel free to post a comment in the notes. We won't take it personal, and if if your feedback is helpful, we might use it.
All right, take care, everybody.
Bye now.
I'll have to edit that.
Why?